Early in your career, there are few things that will derail you faster than when you go to share your work online and someone jumps into the comment section to give you unsolicited critiques on the work that you are trying to do. So let's talk about how to navigate this and deal with these people. Are you tired of the endless stream of fantasy marketing and vanity metrics? Yeah, so am I. My name is James Patrick, and I'm an internationally published photographer, media specialist, and marketing strategist. I'm also a student of professional development, and like you, I've been left frustrated by all of this influencer driven generic advice, making us think that we are just one course, conference, or manifestation away from the life of our dreams. We need to cut through this crap and move beyond the posturing, beyond the facade, beyond the image to take real action on the real work that will create the real results. This is the Beyond the Image podcast. What is going on? And thank you so much for tuning into our latest episode of the Beyond the Image podcast. So last week, I shared this post with the caption that read, "The worst photo I ever took." And the follow up was the first photo I ever took. And the point of the post was to illustrate all the things that I've had to start and then I've shared, whether it's my photography work, my podcast, my books, my blog, my studio, the magazines, the digital network, even creating reels for Instagram or videos for YouTube. The first ones are never going to be good. How can they be good? You've never done it before. You might stumble into a few happy accidents where you find things that work and find things that are okay. But generally speaking, we're going to suck at first. And that is kind of part of the process. So the idea behind this post was to encourage people that, it's okay. It's okay that when you record your first episode of your podcast, it's not that great right now, but that's how you get it to be great later, is by putting something out, getting feedback, working that feedback in, getting that practice, getting those reps to eventually culminate something that you are proud of. I've been podcasting for 10 years. And when I go back and I listen to any interviews or shows I did 10 years ago, well, I'm going to cringe at it. But I had to do those. I had to get through those in order to get the show to where it is now. And I'm sure in 10 years, I'm going to listen to these episodes. I'm going to cringe at these episodes and think, man, I thought I knew what I was doing back then. We need to be able to embrace where we are now and whatever it is we're choosing to do, podcasting, photography, writing, speaking on stage at a conference, opening your own brand or company or product or service, knowing that it's not going to be the best it will ever be right now. How could it be? But by doing this and by sharing this, we build a foundation where we can inevitably improve it and get it to a place where we do make it better over time. Now, unfortunately, this post yielded a very snarky comment from a photographer who this photographer, and I'll use that definition in air quotes, has been commenting snarky comments on my posts for, I don't know, 10 years, probably longer than 10 years. And even when it seems complimentary, it seems very backhanded. Uh, the comment was something to the effect of, well, some people just suck because they don't know how to see. They're referencing other photographers. Like they just suck. They just can't see. So he's an asshole. There's no real subjective way to look at that other than he's just an asshole. And he's probably more successful as an asshole than he has ever been as a photographer. When you are starting something new, it can be absolutely terrifying to share it with the world because you're afraid. You're afraid of judgment. You're afraid people will say, well, who said you can do this? Or you're not that good? Or who gave you the right or the permission to do this thing? This isn't good enough. You're not good enough to do this thing. And for the longest time, no one ever said that. There was an irrational fear. But now you have assholes like this jumping into the comments section who are voicing these unsolicited opinions as if they're scripted in stone. So this fear gets compounded. Like, I pulled some of the comments I've gotten in the last few years. People saying that my work is only good because I have good models. People saying that I have zero imagination. That's why my goofy ass is in the studio. Or that I only take good photos because I have expensive equipment. Or that my photos are, I mean, even to the fact like your photos are blurry. I mean, they're not, but fine. Now, I've been doing this for a while. I have enough gray hair that I've collected over my career, building my career. I can handle some no-name jackass in the comments section. It doesn't really phase me. They're not responsible for putting money in my pocket. I'm okay. It's fine. But when I was 19, that would not have been fine. When I was 20 or 21, or even if I was my age now and I'm just starting something new and someone comes up to me and says, I don't like what you do. It's not good enough for me. The truth of the matter is, if any of these people were successfully creating their own work, they would not have time to be digging into your comment section. I mean, seriously, the people that do this, what is your problem? Attacking someone for being excited and vulnerable enough to share what they're doing with others. And instead of uplifting and encouraging, you critique, you berate. So it really begs the question, what makes you think anyone gives a shit about your opinion? So to be clear, no one has the right to get between someone and something that they are passionate to pursue. You do not have the right to get between someone and a goal that they are trying to achieve. Our industry, the creative industry, the entrepreneurial industry, it can be creative, it can be energizing, it can be collaborative, it can be communal. But no, here you come along telling people that they're not doing it right because they're not up to your bullshit arbitrary standards of quality. Well, go fuck yourself.